Anderson with Test, Multimedia, and Business Development. Today, we're going to be learning how to create B-roll in your videos. Now, the reason why this is unique is good for you because I don't know how to work a video camera. I don't really know how to do editing. But for the past 20 years, I have been focused on how to create what I know people want to see. And so in this content, we're going to learn a few things. If you look in our description, we're going to learn how to plan ahead. We're going to learn utilizing available resources. We're going to learn capture diverse angles and perspectives. But then we're also going to learn considering your sound, which I always mess up on. But also we have edit effectively. We want to make sure that that looks right because that's where all the magic happens. But then we also have use creative techniques. There's certain ways that you can do certain things like time lapse or, being able to catch slow motion to be able to make your video better. So those are the things we'll cover in this video. Now, to give you a little bit of background, I was in New Orleans. This client is the African American Male Wellness Agency. I was working with Dr. Takesha Davis and Dr. Corey Aber of New Orleans East Hospital. So this is really focusing on why the partnership came together, what was happening within the partnership as far as our free health screening event and the 5K walk and run. But really, this is just a small clip, 46 seconds, of how to really integrate B-roll into your content. And so the first thing that you'll see is when we show a large group of people. That's like what you would consider your props. But then that just covered one element as far as the walking element of the video. The other piece that we added into this are health screenings. You see somebody actually being health screened. And so the unique thing about this video content is that when you look at from that 3-second to 17-second, you'll see where we started out with our B-roll, and then we used Dr. Takesha Davis's voice to be able to explain what you're actually looking at. But then you'll also see where her image comes in, so you can put a voice with the face and kind of see who you're talking to, which makes you lock into the audience that we're addressing. But then another great thing that I like to also highlight is when we got into Dr. Corey Aber, we used his voice to really capture the latter part of our B-roll within this content. And so you'll see that we used the same style of content, but you have two different people talking dynamically about what's happening to kind of give some substance and some depth into our B-roll. So let's check this out. Give me your feedback on what you see, but utilize this content to kind of go back through and piece your content for what you're trying to create as it relates to B-roll. So once we kind of look at this video and go through the 46 seconds, I'll pull some other things out that will help you hone in for your audience what your B-roll is actually trying to express. All right, let's check it out.
We know in the city of New Orleans, just like around the rest of the U.S., that our African American men are dying at high rates from preventable health diseases. So we wanted to be a part of a movement that helped African American men increase their health screenings, increase their preventative health visits to physicians, and ultimately just be healthier as they're the pillars to our community.
And so as a doctor, a lot of times, we tend to kind of sit up in these high positions and then not really interact with the community the way that we need to. So something like this brings together all walks of life. It brings together the postal worker, it brings together the executives, all for one.
We're able to capture like all the things that I was saying as it relates to Dr. Takesha Davis, Corey Aber, how we were able to use similar content to continue that story. Now, another unique thing that you'll see with this content is that large shot with that large crowd, well, with this client, they do this 5K walk and run in a variety of different cities. And so I picked the city that had the largest amount of people to be able to represent a new market for them. And so that shot with that large group of people came from another walk that they were doing. But when I shot this content, I made sure I shot it to where we could have universal shots that could be used in any market. So another cheat code that you could have with this is like when you're shooting your content, shoot it in a manner that you could use it in multiple different ways to tell that same story. Now, when you look at like, I think it was around maybe that 17-second mark where we show the actual street sign, that is what helps your audience to hone in on where this content is actually representing. So when people from New Orleans actually see that street sign, they'll know that we're on the east side of New Orleans. We're close by New Orleans East Hospital. And so that gives them like a geo target of where this event is happening at. So no matter where you pull your content, whether it's stock video, whether it's from the same brand but a different location, you want to always find a shot that anchors your content for that market that you're making it for. So that is something that is very, very important when it comes to utilizing content from different spaces to create for a new space. So once you see that and find that within the video content that you're shooting, now you can start mixing and matching information that will create a whole video for one market. Another great thing too that you want to pay attention to is your outro and your intros. With your outros and your intros, you want to make sure that your intro is actually kind of setting the tone for what the video is about. And then your outro, you normally want that to be like your call to action. So what is it that you want the video viewer to do once they watch the video? And so I kind of get more into your call to action when you look at the three-pronged approach. It's an ebook that you can get at teamelite6.com that kind of shows you how to break down and how to use marketing strategies, but most importantly, how to use the content once you create it. So this is what we're doing for this B-roll. If you need this explained a little bit better, if you have more questions, please put it in the comments, and then I can follow up with another video once I have an idea of what you actually need help with. Thanks again for watching this. And again, community plus people equals culture. So make sure you're making videos and content to help make people better.